Good morning to everyone. It's a very windy day here, but sunny. And we have May with us. And May's title of her talk this morning is My Home, Your Home, Our Home. And I was thinking about this, and I think perhaps home is one of the nicest words I can think of, because it conjures up such a warmth inside when you think home. And I'm sure that May's talk will bring that warmth to us. Thank you, May.
Thank you, Sally. Om Shanti and good morning, everyone. Om Shanti and good morning, everyone. So our topic today is my home, your home, our home. So at the moment with this current lockdown, our home is, to a lot of us, is not my home anymore. My home is also my office. My home could also be my classroom. My home could also be my gym. So the home has become multifunctional. And some of us may physically live in a big home, a big house. Some may live in a smaller house. Some may be in an apartment, a unit, or a room. So with this prolonged lockdown, people are feeling claustrophobic. And of course, they're also saying that mental health issues are on the rise. People reality at the moment. But are we in a position to change that? So I would like to share with you a story. Two men were in a hospital and they were sharing a room. One of them, his bed was just next to this big window. And he was laying in bed the whole day, but each day for an hour, he would be popped up to have his the fluid in his lungs being drained out. So, and he enjoyed that hour when he could be popped up. The other man, for whatever reason, he had to lay on his back the whole day. The two men became very good friends. They shared their life history, their stories. And on this hour, when the man by the window could get up, he would share with this other man what he could see from the window. The beautiful blue sky, the birds, and the garden down below, and the activities of the garden, of people who are in the garden down below. And then eventually one day, the man whose bed was by the window, he passed away. According to the nurses, he passed away very peacefully one night. And so when it was the right timing, the other man asked whether he could be moved to the bed next to the window. And so he got that bed. And then he made very, very good efforts to pop himself up so that he could see what's outside the window. And to his amazement, what he could see from the window was only a brick wall. There was nothing that he could see from the window but the brick wall. So he asked the nurse, why could this man see so many things? And the nurse said, in fact, this man was also a blind man. So I was very touched by the story because whatever our physical condition, we could change things around because our mind is very, very powerful. So this mind actually is our other home because our thoughts come from the mind. So let's have a meditation now, and we will together create some very positive thoughts. So we'll have some soft music, and I will share some thoughts. So what we usually do with our meditation is we usually keep our eyes open so that we get into this practice that wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, I can be in that meditative state. I can remember who I am. There are this beautiful sparkling energy, that I'm this tiny point of eternal light. So let's sit comfortably and just be alert, have our eyes open. And if you'd like to cast your eyes on something, if you are facing the screen here, then maybe cast your eyes on this beautiful point of light. This is the image of the soul, which is magnified 100,000 million times, however many times you want to say, because our understanding is that the soul, this tiny point of light, is actually invisible to the physical eye, but we can feel the soul. So let's sit comfortably and just gently focus our attention in the center of the forehead. This is where I, the soul, this eternal point of living energy, the sparkling diamond, reside. I am an eternal point of light. I am a being of peace. I am a being of love. I am a being of happiness. My original nature is peace. My original nature is love. My original nature is kindness, generosity, flexibility, benevolence. And when I sit down quietly and contemplate on these original qualities of mine, these qualities re-emerge, and I regain my peace, my happiness, my stability. Om Shanti. So when I keep this practice constantly, no matter what happens around me, no matter how much negativity there is around me, no matter how people are behaving in a negative manner around me, it's like I'm enclosing myself in a positive bubble, that I'm not being affected by the negativity that is around me. And in that way, my mind also becomes clearer because there's no pollution. Just as they say that now with the lockdown, that people are not going to factories and all the production has stopped, So the air of the earth there's also less pollution. In the same way, when I'm careful about my thoughts, then there'll also be less pollution. So when I want the output to be good, I have to be careful of what the input is. So what we do is each day, each morning, as soon as we get up, we begin to meditate. And actually, as soon as we get up, or as soon as we awake, is our practice also to reaffirm who I am. That I'm a beautiful point of light, that I'm a soul, and I'm the child of the Supreme. And also, I give my gratitude as well. I'm grateful that another day is coming and I could spend the day in a worthwhile way. So when we make these affirmations at the beginning of the day, we are actually programming our day in a positive way. And of course, then we spend our time meditating, and then we have our spiritual class. That's how we start our morning. And it's very important to start our morning in a positive way. Then we have that groundwork already done. And then during the day, what we do is we also have our traffic, what we call our traffic control, that on the hour, we stop for a minute and perhaps just reminding the self who I am, or reflect on the past hour. Have I been using my time in a worthwhile way? If not, then next hour I better do something about it, isn't it? So, and of course in the evening, then we also have another meditation in the evening to close our day. So all these steps that we take to set up a plan for ourselves, set up a timetable for ourselves, so that we follow this in a disciplined manner. And I think discipline is quite important to a lot of us because, well, I could say that I'll meditate when I have time, but that time may never be coming because I'll be busy with one thing, I'll be busy with another thing, and then, I have to make a phone call, and all things happen. So when we have a timetable, then we can easily slot things in. And I suppose, people in important position, they all have a timetable. And when we go to work, like when we have a more regimented work schedule, then we also slot in our times for meetings as well. So in that way, when we have time slots that we set for ourselves for meditation, that makes it a lot easier. So that much for this home of mine that I need to be very careful how to preserve the condition of this home. Because nowadays people are doing lots of home improvements. They do, and they do gardening, improve their gardens as well. So when people do gardening, they do a lot of weeding. So, but how about the weeding here? Do I weed myself of waste thoughts or negative, ordinary thoughts come to me? Just to be more mindful that if I could make an effort to make every thought of mine an elevated thought. So when I look after my home here, then the vibrations that I send out is, of course, will be a lot better, more positive. And in that way, I could also help others with their home. So my home, your home, I can only look after my home. But when I look after my home, then I could help others with their home. And then, of course, then we come to our home. Our home gives us this feeling of belonging, that we all share one big home. So at the moment with social distancing, I think sharing to a certain extent is not really encouraged. However, with spirituality, in what we practice this sense of belonging, this subtle sense of inviting everyone to come to my home. And in fact, my home is not my home. My home actually belongs to everyone. It's actually our home. If we look at this picture here, so we see our physical home, and then right on the far left corner there is this home of the world of golden red light, and this is our home. In fact, it is our eternal home. It's our understanding that this is the home of souls, the soul world, our home. Before we take bodies, that was our home before we come down to the physical world, to what we call to play our part. So in that original home, the soul world, that's the home of eternal light. That's the home that I feel that I'm rejuvenated whenever I visit that home. So now let's do another meditation, and let's all together, we will travel up to our original home. So we are now here in the physical world, and with the power of our thought, with just one thought, we travel upwards. So it's like when I say go to your favorite holiday spot. In 1 second, you go there. Either it's the beach, either it's another city, wherever that is. So on that same basis, now as we sit comfortably and just again focus our attention in the center of our forehead, I, the soul, am the eternal light. And as I sit comfortably with the power of my mind, I, the soul, like a rocket, fly upwards. I fly away from the physical home where I'm staying into the beautiful blue sky. I fly away from this beautiful planet Earth, into the universe. And as I travel further and further away, I arrive at our original home, the soul world, the world of eternal peace, the world of eternal light. Just see yourself in your mind's eye that we arrive in this home of eternal peace, where souls like sparkling stars gather together. And in this world of eternal light, there's no sound, there's no action, there's only peace and silence. And I feel so secure in my original home. I feel safe. I feel that I could stay here forever and enjoy that peace and tranquility. And of course now, because we've got things to do, so I gather myself and I travel back. I fly past the sun and the stars and the moon. I find planet Earth and I come back to Australia. I find my home and I come back. So we call this the spiritual drill. And we practice this drill many times during the day. The more we practice transferring myself from one home to the other home, the easier it gets. And this practice will help us to be more detached from the physical world, from all the maybe the craziness that's happening around me. And in that way, again, I'm creating some protective mechanism to protect myself from any negative vibrations or from people's anger or anything that I don't want to get influenced by. So our home is the place of security. And in every home, there's also the parent or parents. So in Raja Yoga, when we go to the home, we also go and visit our Supreme Parent, or we call the Supreme Parent Baba, our Eternal Father or Eternal Mother, whatever relationship you would like to develop with the Supreme, you're very welcome to develop that. For myself, I've never had a very close relationship with my father. So right from the beginning, as soon as I was introduced to the Supreme, I've always had this relationship with the Supreme as my father. I just feel that he would always be there to protect me, that I'm always under his canopy of protection. And today in our spiritual class, we also reminded that the Supreme is also our friend, the friend of the mind. So it's a very apt title for our topic today, friend of our mind. And so this is another reason why when we go to the soul world, we have a heart-to-heart conversation with the Supreme, or we stay under the canopy of the Supreme, being in his eternal love or her eternal love. Because our understanding is the Supreme or Baba is the source of all pure energy. So it's just a very easy task to follow someone rather than having to reinvent a path. So when I follow, say, the teachings of the Supreme, or when we are suggested to, follow his or her directions. Whatever we ask to do, like a child, I follow that. Then actually it makes my life very easy, rather than having to reinvent ways to or to will my way around. Because in the past, before I came to this knowledge, I used to will my way, and it's extremely, extremely hard work. But now I surrender. I surrender my thoughts. I surrender my life, and it's just everything is easy. Well, this word surrender may not be everyone's cup of tea, but it's up to you. However much you would like to try or make an effort, just do it. Okay? Give it a go, and then you see whether how much benefit you take from doing this meditation, spending time with the Supreme. Because when we want to develop a relationship with someone, we have to spend time together. So spending time with the Supreme, well, to me, is the most worthwhile thing to do, because the Supreme would always be there 24/7. If in the middle of the night I cannot sleep, then I can always have a chat with the Supreme. In our early morning hours, we have a sweet conversation. We have our meditation. So everything becomes very easy when I follow all these timetable. So let's just have one final meditation, and we just sit together and feel the love of the Supreme. So just very gently focus our attention in the center of the forehead, and I travel upwards. I could feel the energy of the Supreme, my Baba, my Father, my friend of the mind, my benevolent partner, the one who is eternally pure, the one who is the source of all virtues, all spiritual powers, all knowledge. Just feel that I'm in a spiritual shower, being showered with all virtues, being showered with altruistic love, eternal love. I feel so fortunate to have found this unconditional love. I feel empowered. I feel strong and stable. I'm content. Om Shanti. So as I practice more and more going to my eternal home, then I bring that peace with me and share that peace with the world. Thank you.
Thank you, May. That was beautiful. I didn't want to come back. It's such a lovely thing that even for 1 second we can go there and feel refreshed. So we'll see you in our home, a tiny point of light. Thank you, May.
Thank you, Sally. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow. Bye.